Okay. Said I wake up in the morning bright and early tryna make a M. Stand on 10 before I brush my teeth, bitch, I done made a band. I been that man, my shooters keep them choppers like Afghanistan. She been a fan, yo bitch just taught me.
Welcome to another episode of Strictly for Winners. I'm your host, the boy named Courtney, and today we got a very special guest. We have a producer that got credits on Kodak Black's projects, Heart of the Projects, Project Baby, Institution, along with Koly P's projects, Boosie Badass, 21 Savage. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jonny Monsoon.
Yo, what's up, man? Appreciate you having me, Courtney.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We on here. We're gonna talk a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit. Talk about music. Talk about
almost.
life and shit. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you for sticking with me while I was struggling on the intro with the name, man. I appreciate it. For those who don't know, this is take 9 probably of that intro. But let's get into it. So originally, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Jersey, man. I was born there. I lived there until I was like 9 years old. But you know, I'm pretty much a Floridian. I grew up down here. You know, Boca area, Deerfield. I've lived for the last 20 years. So, you know, but I do a lot of work, you know, down pretty much all areas of South Florida.
Yeah. So how was your upbringing, like, to get into the music industry you're in now?
I always made music, you know, like I made little rap tapes back in the day, you know, and that's really what I started at, was like a DJ rapper. You know, I didn't really take it seriously, and then like I got like, you know, I don't know, mid-20s, I started rapping. I had some shows. You know, I opened for Khaled, I opened for Kendrick, you know.
Okay.
Couple big shows, you know, my boy Mike Lewis, you know, he had the show for Kendrick, so I was his, you know, hype man, but, you know, we did a song of mine, and, you know, I did a couple things, like I said, opening for Khaled at Art Basel 2015, so, you know, mainly I was a rapper first and foremost.
Yeah.
You know, but along the way, I started to learn how to engineer, you know, and then mix master, and then produce beats, so, you know, it was really just a pretty long process, but, you know, over the years, you know, I learned how to do, you know, a little bit of everything, and, you know, I just always was interested in music, so I just, you know, I stuck with it. You know?
Now, real quick, so when you started off as an artist, was it hard for you to make the transition over to engineer, producer?
Nah, because, like, I was already kind of, like, recording myself, you know, here and there, so it wasn't that hard, but, I mean, it is a big learning process.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what, you know, can make me valuable, you know, because, like, if an artist is looking to do something, I already kind of know, you know, what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm an artist, too. You know, so, but I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't hard, because everything in life, you know, for the most part is hard. You just have to be, you know, willing to say, okay, especially as an artist, I'm gonna let my artistry take a back seat.
For sure.
And help someone make their art. So, you know, it is what it is.
That's real. That's like a difficult thing for a lot of people to do, which is the adjustment period. We were just talking about it like off camera, where it's like a lot of people, they have a goal in mind and they stick to it, not necessarily understanding that sometimes the goal is to get there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And that's the number one thing. But did you do music in school?
So nah, when I was in high school, you know, cause I'm a little older, you know, in my 30s, but like when I was in high school, I didn't really do music. Like I did it when I was in like middle school, and then like I DJ'd in high school, but then I really kind of spent more time on sports.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then after high school, you know, when I was in like my mid-20s, that's when I really kind of started, you know, because for years I just used to sit around freestyling in the car with my boys. Like, that's what I did, you know. So I learned a lot about hip-hop doing that, you know, flows, cadences, you know, counting bars, tempos, you know, stuff like that.
So you really studied this down to a science of hip-hop?
Yeah, I mean, just from an experience perspective, you know, like at the end of the day,
you think that's a lost
art? You gotta
art?
be a student of the craft. Yeah, I do, you know, but the game's gonna change, you know, things evolve. You have to be willing to evolve.
Yeah.
You know, things are a lot quicker now than they were back then. So, you know, you can't take anything away from how things, you know, change and evolve. You just have to be able to adapt. You know, and if you could do that, you know, you can have longevity. And I think, you know, it's a part of, you know, my legacy.
For sure.
Yeah.
So speaking of legacy, like, what do you think the legacy so far that you have created, like, in the game, or what is the legacy that you want to leave the game?
I mean, you know, I just want to be like remembered for, you know, having a positive impact on helping artists, like, you know, grow their careers, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, my music, which most people haven't heard because I haven't really released a whole lot, but I got a lot of stuff that, is involved and collabs that I'm working on and things that I'm getting ready to release. But yeah, I mean, it's really about like just doing what's right, like if you see somebody else, like, because when I was younger trying to rap on my come up, like you didn't have somebody like me, or I didn't have somebody like me around. So if now I can be that positive influence or that mentor or that light in the way, for somebody else, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you know what I noticed?
And people remember that. Like people remember, like, yo, he helped me out like when nobody else did, or like, yo, I just met him. I don't even know who he is, and he like gave me great advice. Like, like that shit goes a long way.
I was about to say, like, what I realized is like the projects with Kodak, right? Those are a lot of his earliest work when you were saying that you like to help younger artists. You get what I'm saying? Like that are on the way up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how is that process for you? Like, how do you decide who do you want to work with? Because there's probably a lot of people that reach out to you wanting to work, but how do you decide who do you want to work with?
I mean, I pretty much I'll work with anybody as long as they're not difficult to work with.
Yeah.
If you're difficult to work with, like it becomes a tense and stressful studio environment, and nobody really likes that. Like at the end of the day, like it's got to be like we have to be able to like say, okay, like when we're going in here, like we're all like on the same page. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like we're not. Excuse me, I got some allergies. At the end of the day, like people in this business, this business itself gets a bad reputation, because of how people do business. So I just feel like if you do it the right way, you'll have success. You know what I mean? And things are going to happen along the way that you can't control. But, if I can be, hey, yo, Jonny Monsoon, that's the guy that did this and this and that and this and helped these artists, like, that's good enough for me,
Yeah. Now, how is that relationship with the artists that you worked with previously?
I mean, I like to I guess like you could say I overstep boundaries in the studio, like, and tell people things or say things that might be, I don't want to say offensive or whatever, but like testing your abilities, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where it's like, damn, but if we're in there together, you got to trust that. Like if you can trust that, then we're going to have the ability to make amazing art.
Yeah.
But if you're going to just want me to push the button for you and not offer any insight, and I can clearly tell you, hey, if you did it this way, it would sound better, but you don't want to hear that, those are the type of people I don't want to work with.
You're a producer, not just a beat maker.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm not just an engineer. I'm not just a beat maker. I'm a producer.
Yeah.
Executive, really.
You orchestrate music. That's
right.
fine.
I don't read music and I don't play it, but like when you say orchestrate, it's more like sequencing and structure and what should go where, you know what I mean? And that's really just all about having a good ear.
Now, wanted to ask you this. What are some of your favorite projects that you worked on, or songs that you worked on?
I mean, it varies. It could be a Kodak song. It could be somebody who probably will never, make it as an artist in the industry. Like, it's really just about the environment in the studio, Because, I mean, a hit's a hit just because, you got to have people hear it. That's really what makes it a hit.
Yeah.
There's thousands of millions of great songs that were never heard and never released. You know what I mean? So, from that aspect, it's really just about, creating a great piece of art, but then following up with the business side. I mean, that's a whole nother discussion.
Now, that's actually a great point. Now, with the music industry, how do you become necessarily a star for those people who are watching this that, want to make it? Local, upcoming artists, like you have an insight and you've seen the ins and outs of the industry more than some. What are some of the steps to make it?
I mean, there's really no steps. There's no formula. It's different for everyone. I don't want to devalue what I've done, and accomplished, but I got lucky in a sense. Like Kodak put me in the video. I worked with him for years, so most people probably wouldn't have known what I'd done if I didn't do that video. So he blessed me with that. And I'm forever thankful.
Yeah.
For that. So, but I earned that by all of those hours in the studio. So it's really just about, you got to earn when they say earn your keep, you got to work for it. Some people do get lucky, they blow up overnight, but blowing up overnight is really like working hard for 10 years and nobody really sees it. You know? That's really what it is. And then when it happens, people are like, oh, he just blew up. It's like, dog, you didn't see what I've been doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
That's crazy that you mentioned that, because like I said, I'm reading a book called Outliers, right? And then you have the chapter 2 that's like about 10,000 hours, right? And then they're like, so basically like the Beatles, right? The Beatles, they started overseas, obviously. They started in Hamburg though, like 4 years before they came over here. And they did like just 8-hour shows, unheard of numbers, right? They did like 92 of them in a year up until they got to America. When they got to America, to everybody over here, it seemed like an overnight sensation, right? But over there, it's like, no, we literally we sucked.
Right.
Or we didn't suck, but we had talent, raw talent, but we were able to polish it and shape it. What do you see that a lot of young artists have, like the raw talent, but they're not understanding this or that in order to be the full-on blown star that they could be?
Well, it's different. Back then, it's not like it is now. It's very saturated, oversaturated. So there's a lot of everything, but that also helps too. Like that gives you more opportunity. So you just gotta stay consistent. Is really all I can say. The more you stay consistent, the further you'll get in life. It's really more about hard work than it is about talent.
It's actually tough that you said that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think that. Like seriously.
How many people you think in the game are super talented? Yeah, they're dope, but then you got your homeboy and they're down the street that can rap better. You know what I mean? So what does that tell you?
It takes a lot.
It takes a lot. Sometimes it's about luck. Sometimes it's about meeting people. Sometimes it's about hard work. Sometimes it's about all three.
That's a fact. I don't think you can get. I think it's always going to be all three, because like even if you get lucky in the door, like to get in, right? You still have to work hard to stay in the door.
Right, you may not last. So
exactly. Like
I would say it takes all three to have the longevity.
Yeah.
Which means you'll have a lasting impact.
That's a fact.
There's not a whole lot of rappers that did and do. Kodak's one of them.
Yeah.
Koly's one of them.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
For you, how did you get in? Like, not how did you get in the Kodak music video, but like, what was that for you? Like the whole process of that. What is shooting a real music video like?
Well, he hit me up after we hadn't spoken for a while. And he's like, yo, I want to do a video. I wrote some bars, for you. And I was like, yo, that's cool. So I heard it, we added to the song, and then we shot the video. And then it was cool, man. It's a lot going on. There's a costume designer and a prop guy and a light guy and all that. And, and then the talent, men, women, so like, you see the girls, and it's like, at the end of the day, it's fun, but it's work.
Yeah.
So.
Those overall 3 minutes, it did not take 3 minutes to shoot that.
No, it took about, overall, between the few days, it took probably about 15, 16 hours.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, what is your favorite part about being like a producer, just being in the industry?
Excuse me. See if we can cut that out. But yeah, I mean, it's just doing what you love, I get to be around music all day, It's not work when you get to do what you love, So, there's days that suck, there's days I gotta take sessions that, people aren't talented or are hard to work with, but it's a big session or a long session, and it's a lot of money. So, I mean, it's not about the money with me, but I mean, right, we have to get paid. So, or we can't live. But I mean, it's a blessing, I'm blessed. Anytime I feel like, yo, my life sucks, or I've had a rough day, or whatever the case may be, I just kind of like try to count my blessings. Like, I mean, I have a lot more than most people, and that's just off the sake of doing what I love every day.
That's a fact. Now, here's strictly for winners. Man, the mindset here is like creating culture, right?
Right.
That's the mindset here, just like a winning mentality. Not necessarily like there's two choices, like winners and losers in life. Every choice you win or lose, right? For you, what was it like when you were down though? Like, how did you not let those moments of like, man, me as an artist isn't working. Damn, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to fund myself in this industry or be able to even get in the door. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I always had other jobs, bro. Like, I worked as a bartender. I sold timeshares. I did janitor work. I always played sports. I did stuff like
what sports you played?
Basketball.
You can't hoop. You can't hoop, man. I'm gonna have to give you some more.
See, I'll hit you with the Larry Bird 3-pointer.
Oh, not Larry Bird.
Yes, sir. Old school. But yeah, it's what were we talking about? I totally forgot it. Because
we were talking about just like your mindset when you were like down in order to come back up.
We know how it is, bro. They hate you when you're up, and they hate you when you're down. So but when you're down, it's a lot tougher because you don't seem like you have anything, and those are the times that make you want to quit. But then those are the times that you have to keep going. You know, there's times where I had not $1 to my name or $5, and I'd spend that on something like a Black and Mild or some weed or something to get so I can go to the studio and make music, just to get another, like, buy another day. You know, so. But that's a part of life. You know, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be days that, you know, weeks, months, years that aren't good, and then, you know, but if you're doing the right thing, ultimately, I feel like it's going to pan out. And if not, then maybe you should change your surroundings.
That's true. Like, the people around you really dictate too what happens to you. Not necessarily the ultimate end all be all, but they play a big role.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let, like, you know, people influence you, but yeah, you know, you are a product of your environment. You know, and it happens. You know, that's why you'll outgrow people. You know, and you have to continue to move with life, and, you know, always look forward to the next step. You know, because most people kind of plateau. They get to a certain point and then they don't grow anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you got a long life. You live till you're like 80. You can grow until you're unable to move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God willing, exactly. You know, but that's the thing. You got to just, you know, with music, it gives you something to look forward to every day. Whether it's, you know, hitting the gym or going to work or, you know, doing charity work, whatever it is that you do, you know, if that's what you love to do, you got to find a way to make money. You know what I mean? Because if you can do that, you'll sacrifice a whole lot of money for something you love. You know, I know people that make tons of money but are unhappy with what they do. So they're unhappy at life, but they have a ton of money. And there's people who don't have shit, but they do what they love and they're happy and they live a fulfilled life every day.
That's so hard to hear, like, being on this side of the coin right now. You feel me? Like, as someone who's trying to get there, you get what I'm saying? It's like, man, give me the money, I will gladly be happy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
You know, I say that from experience, you know, because I had no money and I was happy and I was doing what I loved, and then I had a bunch of money and I wasn't doing what I loved. I wasn't making music at the time, my own music. I was still working in music, and I was unhappy, you know. So like, it's a state of mind.
What did you learn from those prior jobs, right? That you can kind of made you appreciate what you do now, like, even more.
I mean, it makes you look back and say, okay, I don't want to do that shit again. You know, I used to wax floors, like, in office buildings, like, overnight and shit.
Yeah, that shit.
You know, just to pay the bills. You know, it was cool. I could smoke weed on my break and, you know, chill and, like, talk to, you know, my friends and shit. But, like, aside from that, it's like, is that what I want out of my life? So, you know, you make your choices. You know, your habits decide your choices, and those choices, you know, ultimately decide your way of life.
Now, are you gonna drop an album?
Yeah, I got an album on the way. I got a couple projects on the way. I got a bunch of mixtapes and unreleased records I'm gonna drop. I got an album I'm gonna drop. Got a project with my boy Boobon that I'm gonna be dropping. I got a full album I produced for a couple different artists. So I got a lot of stuff. You're gonna be seeing a lot more of my name associated with, like, production and music in the coming you know, months and years.
Can I ask you about what I seen on Instagram like 2 days ago?
What's that?
Wait, you and, like, AB?
Oh yeah, we had Antonio Brown at the studio. That was cool.
Like, how was
Nice
that?
guy, man. Yeah, we were laughing a lot. He's funny, bro. That's my guy. Shout out AB. But yeah, it was fun, man. It was a good time. So, you know, we cooked up like 3 records. You know, I produced a portion of one. So, you know, because a lot of producers are collabing nowadays. So, but that was fun, man. That was good. It was like an 8-hour session. You know, we were just in there cooling, making music, and you know, just bouncing ideas off each other, and it came out fire. So look out for that new AB. You know, material that's gonna be dropping
that
soon.
Shit on. You feel me? That shit is fire.
Yeah.
Like, I go to the gym and hear that, and I just be like, wow.
I told him how it used to be in fantasy, you know, because I'm in fantasy football. I was like, bro, we always used to want you first pick, you know?
For real.
When he was with the Steelers.
Oh, man. Yeah, AB with the Steelers is crazy. So you like football?
Yeah, I'm in fantasy football. You know, I never played football. I like football.
So who's your teams?
I'm an Eagles fan, yeah. And then the Dolphins. So, and they're in separate divisions. And they're both balling this year, so Eagles, Dolphins. That's my Super Bowl prediction.
He said Eagles and Dolphins.
Yeah.
I can only fuck with him on one of these picks. I can't fuck with you on that other pick.
No, we were there last year.
You know why, though?
We were
I'm a
there last year.
Cowboys fan.
Ah.
So,
Well, you're going to choke every year.
oh,
So keep it coming.
here we go.
Keep it coming.
I ain't gonna lie. We lost to Arizona, and I was so upset. I didn't get that.
I got the Dallas defense in one of my fantasy leagues, and they're good. They're number 1 defense.
They are. Are you going to the game that's down here? Are you gonna go to the Philly game?
What, Eagles play the Dolphins this year?
Yeah, but they're going to Philly. But then the Cowboys play the Dolphins down here.
Oh, I won't be going to that game.
You should. You should.
No,
Get your Cowboys jersey, man.
I'll see you in the Super Bowl, buddy.
Yeah.
We beat you every year.
Nah,
Look
not
at the
happening this
stats.
year.
Maybe look up the stats live on camera.
We're changing it this year. This year,
look it up.
everything's changing.
Let's do it like Joe Rogan and them boys. Let's look it up live.
When the last
Live
time y'all
feed.
beat us?
Eagles versus
We
Cowboys.
split it 1-1 last year. We both had our backups play. We didn't play with our starters at all yet. So we'll see what happens this year.
Eagles Cowboys record since 2010. Let's see.
It's pretty split.
Since 2000. 22 and 24 against the Eagles. So we're up 2.
You're up to, yeah.
Since 2000.
It's
So
a
I'll
rivalry.
take
It's
it.
a good rivalry.
Yeah, it is a rivalry.
It's
It
a
is-
good rivalry.
It's a good divisional rivalry for sure.
The only thing I hate is that you guys are in the Super Bowl since I've been alive like 3 times now.
Twice.
Yeah.
2000, I think it was whatever, 16 or 17, and then last year.
No,
yeah.
McNabb too and them.
Yeah, I was 03.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
so
Since I've been
3
alive.
times. Yeah, you're right. 3
This
times.
sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah. Well, keep being a Cowboys fan. That'll be your fate.
I will, no, for real.
That'll
But
be your fate.
so how did you get into sports? Like you say you like basketball. So who was your favorite basketball player? Was it Larry Bird?
I'm not that old.
Okay.
That's funny. Nah, I mean, I guess like Jordan. I used to like Penny Hardaway. Growing up. But LeBron too. Ray Allen. I never had like a favorite.
Was LeBron the GOAT?
LeBron he's up there. It's him and MJ and Kobe, the 3 goats.
Kobe?
The 3-headed goat.
That's a fact.
It's like that Dirk song, 3-headed goat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
the
that song.
3-headed goat right there. Yeah.
I don't know if I could put Kobe as the
You're
third
tripping.
GOAT. He can't be top 3 because he's
Kobe.
just like Jordan.
Kobe's the workhorse.
Yeah, that is a
He
fact.
worked
Kobe
harder
is
than
one.
anybody.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Do you when back to working hard actually, the 10,000 hours, I want to get into that. Where did you put your 10,000 hours at?
In the studio, for sure.
Like how was it? Like what was the first time you were in the studio and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to look back, how long it's been, 15, 20 years, whatever. Like, you look back, you're just like, damn, time goes by quick, bro. That's why you have to bide your time with something that you love. Because otherwise, you're going to look back and be like, damn, I'm still unloading pallets at Publix.
Yeah.
And I'm 45. But hey, I got good benefits and I got a wife and kid, and I'm happy. If like that's your life, great. But that's not what I wanted from my life.
Yeah, everybody has their own idea of where they want their life to go in their
Right.
fate, right?
Right.
And it's like, when you're unfulfilled.
Right.
Like deep down, everybody else can be applauding, clapping for you or whatever. And it's like deep down, it's like, man.
But that's the thing. Like you could do what you love for 10 years and then all of a sudden be unfulfilled.
Really?
Of course. Like you're going to change. Life's going to happen. You're going to change. Something that you used to love to do, you may not love anymore. So if that happens, what you going to do? Not everybody has a backup plan. Look, I love to rap, like I told you, I did that first. But then, I kind of got some advice on engineering, which is a great idea because I probably wouldn't have thought about doing it myself. And then from there, did all of these other things: production, mixing, mastering, coaching, artist development, artist representation, street team, merchandise distribution, stuff like that. Like so much different stuff over the years, but then you learn a little bit. So now it's like, okay, now you have the knowledge to be the boss.
Yeah.
Like the boss has to have worked all of those fucking jobs first before he could be a boss.
Yeah.
Unless his dad just gave him the company.
But still.
You know what I mean? Like Elon Musk started PayPal. Sold PayPal, took that money, invested that into SpaceX and Tesla, and from there created that. You know what I mean? So Jeff Bezos was in his garage. You know what I mean? On an old door. That was his first desk, a fucking door that he took off and used as a desk. And the Amazon was a bookstore.
Wow.
That's how Amazon started. Look at Amazon now.
Were you ever like in a garage or something making
Yeah,
beats and stuff like that?
yeah, absolutely. We used to have
Wow.
garage studios for sure. That's how it starts. If you can't afford a commercial space, what are you gonna do?
You gonna make
I still got my home studio. I still work out of my house. That's your sanctuary,
That's where you make most of your beats?
No, at the studio.
Okay.
But it's nice having the house because if you get inspired in the middle of the night, it's right there.
That's like one of the craziest things that you could just wake up in the middle of the night. I'm just gonna cook some beats up, man, real quick. And then it's like
roll something up and go to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it turns into a hit.
Yeah.
Like, how is that process? Like seeing it, like just creating it on your own and then giving it to artists and they just turn it into.
Well, it's tough because like I've made hits. I have hits that I'm probably sitting on, but nobody's heard them yet because they either haven't been released or funded properly or marketed correctly or whatever. But I have all these fucking songs and beats that you make a hit and but like you have to get it out there for people to hear it. But the process of it is great, but then sometimes it's It's frustrating. You know, you'll make a song and be like, oh, I hate this. This is whack, you know? And then you'll go back and listen to it a month later, a week later, be like, holy shit, like this is fire. Like when you're an artist, you know, you're tough on yourself because if you know, you want to get better. I think most artists who are tough on themselves because they want to get better.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I could do better than that. But sometimes you over criticize. You know, you don't realize that. You know, that comes in the creative process all the time.
How do you not beat yourself down? Like when
It's
you're
tough.
creating.
Everybody's got mental health issues these days, you know. So especially artists, and artists are the ones usually dying from drug overdoses and shit because they got a lot of issues. We got a lot of issues because of the stuff we deal with. You know, creating for people, dealing with people's fucking opinion on what you created, like it fucking matters. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's the you know that's the door you open when you want to be an artist.
When you put yourself out there, like
it takes a lot to do that. People don't realize that.
Yeah, it's a lot more than just
you're letting people inside your head. You know what I mean? That's ultimately what it is. It's like, here, walk into my fucking brain.
You feel me?
And talk to me. Or walk in my brain and have a look at what I talk about or what I think about.
Yeah.
You know? Think about that. It's
scary.
Deep shit. It's deep. That's the thing. So it's like when it comes to music, people are like, it's just music. Like, nah, it's my fucking life. You know what I mean?
Even
it's
if
my
I'm making
memoirs.
party anthems.
My memoirs. It's what I've done. And that's why guys get hit with Rico and shit because they're talking about what they're really doing in their music. Which, when it comes to that, might not be the right or wrong decision. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on that, but in the sense of, you know, allowing people into your life, it takes a lot of balls to do that. A lot of courage, a lot of pride. You know what I mean? And you have to be willing to take a lot of shots when you do that.
Gotta have cojones.
You gotta have cojones, like marbles.
You feel me?
Marbles. But people are gonna judge you regardless. So why not just do what you love?
Yeah. The price of fame, it's a crazy thing because once you put yourself out there, like you said, you don't ask for these opinions. Like, it's funny, like, think about this as an artist, right? I'm telling you how I feel, and then you tell me how you feel about how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck does that work?
People don't do it anyway.
That's true.
Like I said, but yeah, I mean, that's ultimately what it is. You're never gonna get judged by someone doing more than you. Put it like that. And if you are, maybe they're doing more than you in the sake of money or whatever, but you have something that they want.
Confidence.
Right.
Something.
Whatever it is. So, you know, you got to have that third eye open. You know, I meditated before, you know, I'm a pretty spiritual person. You know, I'm not really religious, but like spiritual.
Yeah.
And, you know, those things can open your third eye, you know, and allow you to kind of, but also experience is going to open that third eye. You know, you're not going to know how to turn your wheel in your car if you hit a puddle in hydroplane unless you've done it before. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
So you have to just kind of take things as they come. But when something goes the wrong way or a way you didn't expect, from there you got to learn, okay. And it's maybe not going to be that way every time, but, you know, that's a part of growing into, you know, a strong character build.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like the social media era has kind of, like you said, saturated everything, but also it saturated the artists and amplified the fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a powerful tool, you know. It allows us to communicate around the world instantly, whereas you couldn't do that before, you know. But it also exposes a lot of shit, you know. It exposes, you know, people's narcissism and how much they care about themselves, you know. And you know, you look at the difference of what's shown on TikTok in China to what's shown here, you know what I mean, and how they limit it. Now, it's a communist country and we're a free country. I'm not going to speak on that
but
either.
Still, they're shaping it for a certain future.
Right. So you have to understand, like, if you utilize things to your benefit in a powerful, educational, you know, influential way, you know what I mean? Like, you'll have success. You know, if you're just using the internet for, you know, porn and a bunch of shit that, you know, you're not going to get anything out of other than a quick nut, then it's like, what is the purpose?
Yeah.
You know, like I see these Nipsey Hussle videos. You can go to college for free. It's called YouTube.
Yeah. Whatever you want to learn.
Why you going to go pay the state $200,000 so you can go have some asshole at 6 p.m. on a Sunday, you know, in a classroom trying to tell you how to read something? I don't mean to sound like an asshole myself and downplay the education system, but look at how things are changing.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
You don't need another person to tell you how to learn. You can learn on your own.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that though, because that's how they painted it. They want you to be guided.
Yeah.
You can guide yourself.
You know what's crazy? I was on Instagram like scrolling, funny enough, and it said that everything in society has changed. Cars, technology, homes, you feel me? Even animals, right? But the thing that has stayed the same is school, right? And school's been around for almost 100-something years. So it's no reason why that shouldn't be shouldn't be adapting to current times.
Right, dude. I mean, a lot of our current inventions are still from Leonardo da Vinci from the 1500s.
That's crazy.
Now, the guy was an unbelievable genius, but think about that. You know, other than something like Werner von Braun, the guy who, you know, I'm pretty smart. I don't know. Werner von Braun, the guy who created the atom bomb and also did, you know, he worked for the Nazis before he worked for us. You know, Nikola Tesla, the original Tesla
and they
guy.
didn't give him his credit.
You know, right. When he died, they jacked all his shit, and we use a lot of his inventions too to this day.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. You can find all this stuff online. But there is stuff that is covered up too that, you know, not to get into conspiracies, but I mean, I dive deep into that because whatever's a conspiracy now is usually the truth 25 years later.
Like the aliens. Remember it was always
I'm big on the aliens. I got an alien tattoo, so you don't want to talk about that.
You think those aliens were real that they found in Mexico? That they showed us that they found?
I don't know. Sometimes it makes you wonder because the government can just do whatever they want.
Facts.
But I believe that there is other life here and have been here for a while. You probably, oh shit. See, I'm fucking up the mic. You probably talked to them before.
No, for real?
And not even realized it.
That's scary.
It's a scary world, man. But that's also a part of like the beauty inside it, you know? Like think about the Weeknd album, Beauty Inside the Madness. Like even if there's chaos going on, there's gotta be something, you know, pretty inside there. You know what I mean?
I don't know. No,
You just gotta be able to see, well, what do you mean? Why?
I don't know. They might have
What if they're not hostile?
You know what I'm thinking? They're hostile because humans are hostile.
Exactly.
You feel
I
me?
agree with that 100%.
Because humans are hostile.
I love that. That's
You feel
great.
me? It's
Agreed.
almost like
We could be shooting at them and shit. They're just coming back to like, yo, we fucking put you here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's our fucking world. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're just coming back to say hi. You're trying to shoot at us.
Yeah.
Fuck you, an alien.
now we're getting
Or
more.
however they speak.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That stuff like that is always just like a thought, but it's real life too, because it's just like humans are really horrible. Like not all of us, but
Yeah.
the worst of the worst.
I mean, it's tough, you know? I like how we transition from, you know, music to just fuck humans.
Sorry.
No, humans are difficult. We are a difficult species, you know? We are tough to deal with. You know, people don't realize like it's power in numbers. Like the more that we come together and community, you know, wise, like can build something, like that's how you change the world. You know, one person can do that, but it's Elon Musk is getting all the credit for this. How many people's he got working for?
For him, yeah, a whole team.
And a good boss always hires, you know, someone who's smarter than him because they want that person to outshine them. That's what makes a boss a boss. It's a part of being a boss to know that other people are going to be better than you. You know what I mean? If you think you're better than everyone, you're not a boss.
So what makes okay?
That's what people don't understand about the word boss.
Damn.
Think about that. And that's a direct quote from Steve Jobs, the guy who created the fucking Apple phone and the computer.
Thank you, Steve.
iPhone, I should say.
You helped with this
Rest in
podcast,
peace.
yeah.
Yeah, he's dead. And Elon Musk, you know, and Steve Jobs. I'm sorry, and what's his name?
Bill Gates.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
Maybe Gates, maybe not. I don't know. I have some reservations about Gates and Fauci and all of that shit.
Oh yeah.
COVID, you know. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's a fucked up world, man. When you realize that it's a fucked up world and you're not gonna get what you want, that makes you get the things that you want.
Yeah.
You got to look at it like that. Like, it ain't coming to me, so I'm going to go get that shit.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Because it's out there for everyone. You want to be Usain Bolt, you know what I mean? You could do that.
Yeah.
You want to be Kodak Black, you could do that. I watched it happen. But he put in work for 10 years too.
Yeah. He started at 14.
Yeah, even younger, 13.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Black before that when he was, you know, even super younger. So, you know, that kid's an enigma, though. You know, that man, I should say, that artist, that generational talent, you know, that is Kodak Black, is an enigma, which means we don't understand it fully.
Yeah.
It's amazing what he has done, is doing, and will continue.
And you have to get, like, you know, it's crazy. I'm gonna say this. Like, I'm gonna go back to the book, because the book is all about success, right? It's one of those books where it can either deter you,
right,
or just make you go
Well, that's
harder.
the thing. You could be reading amazing information, but if you don't know what to do with that fucking information,
you
what
fail.
is the purpose?
Yeah.
And then failing is a good thing, right? Jordan talks about that. Michael Jordan, you gotta fail. So failing is good. But yeah, like you could give somebody information like, yo, homeboy, your girl's cheating on you, blah, blah. But if he don't want to believe that shit, he gonna get mad at you.
And catch something.
You know what I'm saying? And then probably get something. Yeah, that's funny. Right, good call, I like that. Probably catch something.
No.
But you know, and that's what it is. It's like, and you know, I'm a pretty serious guy like that. You know, we're like cracking it down and making it funny because, you know, I could get pretty serious. That's just my demeanor. But that's how I am in the studio, and I have fun too. Don't get it twisted. Like, but like I like to if I'm gonna speak, make sense of what the fuck I'm saying. Because your friends, most of them ain't got shit to say.
That's why I try to hang around a lot of older guys.
Dude, you got to be the dumbest person in the room.
Yeah.
When you're around smarter people, you should not feel inferior. That should empower you.
True.
Most people don't have that.
I want to be the brokest person in the room too.
I wouldn't advise.
Well, hold on. Let me clarify that. Not because I'm blowing money and don't have money, but because, you know, I may have 10,000 saved up and I'm next to $1 million, and that's the difference.
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
So you want to be. So
Yeah.
listen, there's a quote that I see that says, you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. You hang around 5 losers, you'll be the 6th. You hang around 5 felons, you'll be the 6th. You hang around 5 millionaires,
You'll be the 6th.
It's a pretty simple concept, you know, but it's tough, you know, whether you grew up in a bad neighborhood or your parents were divorced or, you know, you had abuse in your family. Like, we've all been dealt a bad hand, whether you were rich or poor. It doesn't matter where you come from. You know, you get it out the mud or you get it from a handout, but it's all about creating a legacy. That's really what it is for me. Legacy is very important.
Legacy.
I don't want it to be like, yeah, dude, he sold a bunch of records, but he was, you know, this, and this. You know what I mean? Like, or yeah, he, you know, he influenced the game, but you know, he remember that court case. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be remembered for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got cases. You know, I have drug charges and shit from when I was younger. Like, I'm not no saint.
For sure.
You know, but as you get older, you say, okay, I don't want to do that shit no more.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking go to court no more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to worry about, am I going to take my license taken away, or I'm going to have my freedom taken away?
Freedom is
Because in this country, you know, that's a whole nother conversation. The private prisons and how they're funded, you know, that's a whole nother thing, you know. And depending on your race too, you know, like this country is not as free as we say it is. It's not.
I was just about to get into that before you said that. Like, there's a system already in place for everybody to be either successful or not, right? Like, even down to your birthday. Like, if you want to be LeBron James or whatever like that, like, your birthday literally has to be like on the correct date for you to like be the youngest playing in, like, let's say you're like an 8-year-old playing in an 8 to 9 league, right? And you turn 9 before everybody else. They're gonna be like, well, that kid's bigger, faster, and stronger. Well, no shit, he hit puberty before those kids, right? So then you get in those basketball, you get on the AAU team. Now you're getting extra reps in. Then from there, from the AAU team, you get put on these All-American camps and stuff like that. It's not that you weren't talented when you were 8 and 9 years old, just that you were bigger then. So then you were already bigger and talented, but then they kept giving you extra reps to even make that gap even bigger, right? And I just feel like in society, we make success feel like it's just something that anybody can do. But you gotta start off early. Like, you gotta start off once you know that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't come overnight, bro. You gotta bust your ass, you know? And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It still may never happen. But realistically, I mean, success is tough, man. Like, I know people that'll tell you you don't want success. People say, I want the money, I don't want the fame. That shit gonna come with it, depending on what you're doing, you know? Or at least more money, more problems, you know? It's a real thing. Like, to be successful it's almost like a stigma. You know what I mean? It's almost like this never-ending, unattainable path, grueling fucking path that people try to run to attain. You know, listen to Bob Marley. for a month and tell me that you're not already successful. You know what I mean? Success isn't money, cars, clothes, and hoes. You know, success is happiness, freedom. You know what I mean? That's what success really is. You know, but we like to slap Rolex watches and Bentley coupes and fucking 200-foot yachts and now flying cars and helicopters and
Flying
private
cars?
jets.
What do you say now? I ain't seen no flying
So
cars.
for $300,000, there's flying cars available now. $300,000.
What the traffic gonna be like?
Exactly, I know.
That's
Yeah, I
what-
don't know how they're. It's probably got to be controlled by air traffic, obviously. So you have to register like I'm sure like an airplane. But yeah, it's pretty cool shit. You know.
What's that movie called? The show called The Jetsons?
That's it. Yeah, the old.
We're
Jetsons.
getting there.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
It's like
getting
the
there.
movie Back to the Future.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But before we get out of here, anything you want to tell like anybody trying to get to be the next you?
Be better than me. If you want to be like me or anything, if I empower you or I inspire you, thank you. Like for real, from the bottom of my heart, I love that and I love you for it. But be better than me. You know what I'm saying? Be better than you were yesterday. You know, Kobe talks about that. Even if it's 0.1%. Like today, I was sore as fuck, man. I did not want to go to the gym, but I went. You know what I mean? Some days you just got to get up and go. You know, I got allergies busting my ass today. I didn't want to do the podcast because of it, but I still came and did it. Like, some days you just got to do it. You know what I mean? Like, and it sucks because there's going to be people around, like your girlfriend, oh, Poppy, don't go, you know? Or your parents, like, oh, I need you to help me because dad's in the hospital. Or, you know, there's certain things you're going to have to do, right? But then that comes down to decisions. You know, what am I going to do? How am I going to make it in life, you know? And there's no answer to that. There's no formula that's going to say, hey, if you do this, you'll be successful. Because it's different for everybody. But if you want to be me or better or anything successful in life, you got to be better than you were yesterday, every day. You know, because we're all the same. The people that are successful just put in more work than you. Or they got extremely lucky, and that does happen too. I'm not going to remove that from the equation. But it's more like, yo, that motherfucker put in work, bro. You didn't see that shit.
Yeah.
He was like you said, and it's funny because I say 10 years of unrecognized work. You put it in the context of 10,000 hours.
That's
and
10
I didn't,
years, though.
and I didn't even think of that. You know what I mean? And that's great because, you know, and it's probably even more than 10,000 hours to be honest. But even trying to put that into perspective, fuck, 10,000 hours. You know, it's like doing a bid. You know what I mean? You did 10 years on the farm. You know what I mean? Like in Belgrade or some shit like. Fuck 10,000 hours. I did it doing something I love because I got lucky. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, at the end of the day, be better than who you were yesterday and try to make people better around you. You know, LeBron is great, right?
Yeah.
But in the beginning of his career, did he win any championships? Jordan is the GOAT, right? Depending. Did he win any fucking championships in his first 6 years in the league?
No.
Kobe Bryant. 96 he was drafted. They won in the first four, so they
He
won
came a little early.
2000, so he got it a little bit quicker.
But he had Shaq.
But he didn't do it until he got who?
Shaq, yeah.
Which that new song, my boy just produced the beat for that Shaq and Kobe from Meek Mill and Ross. Yeah, my boy produced that beat. Yeah, so he, but yeah, Shaq, look at that, Shaq and Kobe. I mean, that's a dynasty right there. You know, but like, if you want to have Shaq and Kobe type, you know, impact in whatever career field you're in, to where 10, 20 years later they make songs about you, or while you're, you know, in the, you know, doing what you love, people are making songs about you, you got to just work hard, bro. Kobe used to get up and go to the gym at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I was watching a Tyler Hero video yesterday. He does the Kobe workout. He gets up at 4 a.m. and he goes to the gym.
And you see the improvement.
And then he eats, and then he goes to the gym and plays ball at 6:30. Then he goes home for like 2 or 3 hours, and I think he goes home and takes a nap. I don't know what he does in between. Then he comes back at noon. He plays for another 3 hours. Then he leaves, and he comes back again at night. So he's working out, and he's shooting around 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And those 3 shoot-arounds are different.
For sure.
So think about how much work is going into one day. The way people don't even put that amount of work in a fucking month.
That's a fact.
You got to put that work in one day. So I would sit there and, you know, when I started composing, you know, because I play a little bit, I chop samples more now, but when I was composing, I would go there like, okay, you know what, fuck it, D flat minor. I would just throw some shit against the wall, okay, Google search D flat minor, okay, I don't know how to play this, but okay, it's this key, it's that key, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I played an entire album, my second, technically, but I have two, that I fully composed everything on the project. There's really no samples. You know, I played it, I wrote it, I mixed it, I mastered it, I sang, like I rapped, I did everything. You know, and it's really just about doing that, because there's people now that are releasing songs that are years old. I released a song on my Instagram the other day. I didn't tell nobody. It was almost 10 years old. You know, and shout out Koly P, you know, he reshared it for me, and that, you know, got me a lot of extra plays. But people are starting to see it, and they're like, yo, this song's fire. That song's 10 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't tell nobody.
Yeah.
But it sound current.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, we like to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm the shit, right? But there's also going to be that times where it's like, you ain't going to make it.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it. That's, you know, that's what you're, you know, the devil on your shoulder is going to tell you. You're not going to make it, you know? And you can't listen to that. You know, you have to be willing to look at what you got. I'm blessed, right? I woke up. I'm not on the street. I got my mom. I got my brother. I got my girl, whatever. I got my dog. I got this stuff. What can I do with what I got to get further?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know? And you have to have fun, you know? You have to laugh. Like, you can't be like a stuck-up, stern asshole all the time. That's good to be hardworking, but you have to have balance. People don't realize that. You know, I learned from spirituality and meditation, like, balance in the Hindu culture is like the main focus. And that's where chakras,
that's literally what I'm working
meditation comes from, is the Hindu culture, Indian culture. You know, and you have to just have balance, bro. You know, like, I can be comfortable by myself pretty much in any scenario. And that's another thing, you know, you have to have confidence. Because if you don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody else gonna believe in you.
True.
And you could try to bury that shit as far down in your soul as you can. People gonna see that shit hanging right there.
Yeah.
And they're gonna know how to exploit it or attack it, or, you know, and like, you know, manifestation is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, not to get meditation confused with manifestation. You know, meditation is separating mind and body and just kind of not thinking, clearing your mind. Manifestation is, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and continuing to tell yourself you're going to do it, and then believing that you can do it, and then doing it.
Yeah, I think that's
manifestation.
Yeah, that's the part that a lot of people are like, fuck, a lot of people that I've been working on a lot.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Just making sure that, like, all my visual, like, the things I have in my head come to real life. You get what I'm saying? And then what's crazy is, before we go, like, just how I met this gentleman is just crazy in itself. Shout out to my boy Clutch. Like, I was with my boy Clutch, and we literally just be chilling. And, like, he knows I do my podcasting, right? So, but I also make music too. And he went to the studio to play me some of his records. So he's playing some of his records. I'm like, okay, that's fire. Boom, boom, boom. So we about to leave the stew. 5 minutes before we leave, I meet you. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, just manifesting, like, man, I wanna, like, I have it on my phone where I wanna get my podcast to a certain place, a certain platform.
Well, that's what we were talking about before, like,
Yeah.
and you know, he's just starting out or whatever. The podcast is fire. I love it. We're talking about how next time we're gonna be like, yo, remember how we were discussing this?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Like, you have to say, okay, like, I never set goals. And my boys would always be like, bro, you gotta set a goal. Now I'm setting goals, and now, even if you don't get there, damn, you got close. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta have something to look forward to. If every day you wake up like, oh, my life sucks.
Yeah.
Excuse me, yeah, your life is gonna suck.
Yeah.
But if you wake up like every day, like, okay, not where I wanna be, but I'm gonna get to where I wanna be.
I'm closer than I was yesterday.
There you go.
That
You know what I'm saying?
that goal is what keeps that in mind. Like, cause sometimes when you don't have a goal, it's like, you'll say, man, I'm not close. But when you have a goal, it's like, okay, let's say I want to save $50. I only save a penny a day.
Right.
Well, I have 2 pennies now.
At
I
least
have a penny.
Right. So, and that's at the bare minimum, right? So
Yeah.
if you're looking at that from the bare minimum, great, yes. And that's what I was saying in the sense of 0.1. But you really want to be 1% better every day.
Yeah.
Because then it's only going to take 100% to level up, right? 100 days, now you leveled up.
Yeah.
Meek Mills, right? It's levels to this.
Yeah.
So you leveled up, boom, 100 days. That's a little over 3 months. You just hit 4 levels in 1 year.
That's a fact.
How you think people blow up so quick? You know what I mean? And some
working.
people say, "Oh, I just started rapping." You know, that's what they say. And then maybe they're lying, maybe they're not. And some people do make it quickly, right? But that's maybe because they put in a fuck ton of work.
Yeah.
Or maybe they got lucky. But, you know, you just got to look at things like, all right, if this is what I want to do, I'm going to do it. You know? And if you can get people around you to help you, that's even better, because I'll tell you, it's really difficult to do on your own.
Yeah, shout out to them boys in the back, man. My boy Tristan over here helping me. You feel me? But guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This was another great episode that I got to do with Jonny
Monsoon.
Monsoon.
This guy's butchered my name the entire show.
And
we had to do 6. We had to do 6.
Not the entire show, because this show I did good.
I'm just messing with you.
But no, I appreciate it, Mr. Monsoon. Monsoon.
Yeah, the monsoon, baby, the season.
And it's raining outside, just like his name. You feel
That's
me?
It.
Allergies coming in, but no. Make sure you follow. Well, first of all, tell them where they can follow you.
Yo, you can get me on Instagram, JonnyMonsoon, Jonny Monsoon. That's pretty much where I do most of my business. I don't really be on TikTok and all that. I got a bunch of music coming, alternate reality album. I got Trapped in My Spaceship EP/mixtape before that. I got the album with Boobon that I'm coming out with. I got a full project I produced for my boy Da Vinci B. I got some other projects that I worked on with AB, Antonio Brown. So I got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming. You're going to be seeing my name a lot. And I appreciate you having me on the show, Courtney. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, man.
And yeah, just be better than yourself yesterday. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, eventually you're going to get there. That's how I look at it.
Again. Another great episode. You know where to follow me at. A boy named Courtney on Instagram. Boy named Courtney on Twitter. Strictly for winners. You know, like, subscribe, because we got a lot more coming on the way. Appreciate it. And until next time, we out. Strictly for winners feels different. It has a motto behind it. It's not just me.